Super Club Netball 2018 semi-finals day here, and what a day it was. On behalf of Jodie Brown, also Liana De Brain, it was action-packed from the start, so let's do a bit of a recap here. Ovvo taking on the Sneakers first up, 84-66. Ovvo get their second win for the tournament. How good was that to start this one?
Yeah, it was fantastic. The Sneakers hung in there for a wee while, and it was just the lack of finishing off for them. But for Ovvo, there was no question about AJ Salavilo, who finished off perfectly with 2 pointers. She was fantastic. She really does make herself available to the feeders, and she really just turns and nails it. She has significantly more attempts at 2-pointers than 1-point goals. She is good at the 1-point goals, obviously sitting at 5 from 5 with 100%, but it's just the way she turns and slots with ease. And I think later towards in the game where they started to run away with it, Wonga came into the game as well to support her nicely. Yeah,
it's going to be really hard, of course, for their opponents, the Sirens, who they'll be taking on. They got through the Jaguars in this one, and Liana, I've got to be frank with you, I was a bit surprised with that one.
Yeah, look, I thought it was going to be a little bit tighter, but the Jaguars had not the best game of the day, but credit to the Sirens, they did a good job and they stuck to their game plan, and especially a lady called Nicole Stiles, who had a 100%. really good game at goal defence. She comes out for intercept, she makes life really difficult. Her combination with Mulderhorn is really good, the communication between them, and defensively as a unit I thought they had a brilliant game.
And Liana was great, deservedly so for them, because they've left everything on the court every game they've played, so get their first win when it counted, of course, and to get through, it was great for them, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was great. I think they will all be so happy about that win because, as you say, they have worked really hard for it.
So those are the first two coming through. The New South Wales Institute of Sport took on the Tactics, and this was the first semi-final that we were really looking forward to as well. They get the win, the Tactics, 64-62, and go through to the final as well. How good was this one, Joe? It's great, and happy for the Tactics to go through.
Yeah, well, they have been the fairy tale story of the ANZ Premiership this year, and they really did come from behind. It wasn't until Kate Beveridge come on and started nailing some twos, but a lady who was not supposed to start the game is Charlotte Alley. Stacey Peters occurred a blood nose in the warm-up, so she had to come on at late notice. And I think by half-time or something, she had 4 intercepts, which obviously she finished the game with, but she just read play very well, attacked ball, and often from a long way away, so attacked the line of the ball rather than the player, and made a great impact for the Tactics down there, and also really strong bringing the ball through.
We saw Kate Beveridge go on that run, and you're right, Charlotte Alley was so vital and important through that, getting those turnovers, and they get to the big dance and a chance to finally get some silverware. What a great year 2018 would be if they could cap it off with that. Then we saw a replay of the ANZ Premiership final between the Pulse and the Steel, and this time the Pulse reversed the order and they get the win 64-55. It was action-packed and had very much a feeling of another ANZ game as well, didn't it? This was more serious, this one.
Yeah, look, I think it was a little bit flat for me. I was expecting a little bit of a tight game, but obviously Pulse have learned the lessons. They had a few goes at it this year and could finish it off tonight, which I'm sure they'll be very happy about.
Liana, we've talked about it in commentary. I'm going to blame you because she's the reason why you are one of the reasons why she's here and why we're talking about it all week. Of course, her form as well. Karen Berger, once again, she's making us talk about her, and that's great, isn't it?
Yeah, look, she's had another awesome day at the office. So good at those intercepts. 5 intercepts, 3 deflections, 2 pickups. She's just endless. She just goes for everything. Really good timing, and her combination with Fitzpatrick was really good to see that she can actually go goalkeeper and goal defence and made such a big impact.
Yeah, it's I was saying to you, Joe, it's side of court as well. It must be a scary thing when you see a ball go through and you just hear Sulu's voice going, "Go, Karen," because you have no idea where she's coming from if you're attacking, and she's vital to the side as well. Maybe they'll be able to get some silverware, but it's going to be a magnificent final. The Tactics taking on the Pulse. Let's have a look one more time at the results that happened here on semi-finals day for you. One more time, Ovvo from the Pacific, 84-66 against the Sneakers. Jaguars, they went down to the Sirens, so the Sirens will take on Ovvo tomorrow. Moving along one more time, semi-final number 1. New South Wales Institute of Sport went down to the Tactics, who go through to the final 62-64. And then, of course, the Steel going down to the Pulse, 64-55. So, I mean, this is happening for you. Sneakers versus Jaguars kicking off at 3 p.m. on finals day tomorrow. And then we've got Ovvo taking on the Sirens just before 5 o'clock. And yes, the journey starts and the build-up starts to the big dance. New South Wales Institute of Sport, the battle for third against the Steel. And, of course, your final for the 2018 Super Club competition here. It is the Tactics taking on the Pulse. Can't sit on the fence. How's it going to go?
Pulse.
Pulse?
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with Jodes. I'll go Pulse as well.
And it wouldn't be George without going against them. I'm going to go for the tactics as well. We want you to be here. Join us live and exclusive on Sky Sport, or come down to the Trafalgar Centre as well for finals day of the 2018 Super Club competition.